Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing great today. Today's video isn't going to be a rant or me reacting to things that I disagree with. Today I'm actually going to talk about my own experience. The second year I went to Gay Pride, so my second time at Gay Pride. Basically a conversation that I had with a old activist, which I thought was interesting. And at the time, I didn't know the information that he said, so I thought I'd make a video basically explaining the difference between what he was saying and the opposite. So, you're probably wondering what that thing is. And it's basically the difference between civil partnership and gay marriage. So, I first went to Gay Pride when I was 17, so the year after I came out, and then I think the year after, so I would have been 18 at this point when I had this conversation. When I was 18, I was just living my best gay life, minding my own gay business, and I didn't really pay attention to a lot about politics until someone called me, whatever name, the odd one or two times. But other than that, I was just minding my own gay business. But I always wondered when I was, 18, what is the difference between civil marriage and gay marriage? I mean, civil partnership. Like, in my head, they were the same thing, but yeah, I do know that in my community that there was a big fight for it. So I didn't know what the difference was, because, I grew up in the era where it was just about to become legal, and then I came out in the era when it was legal. So technically that wasn't my fight, but I just didn't know. So I kind of wanted to know about it, but at the same time I wasn't too bothered because I wasn't seeing anyone. So, like I say, living my best life. And I noticed when I went to the second Gay Pride that there was this man who was like an activist, and his job was fighting for the rights of like the LGBT community. And he was quite old, and he said that he's been doing it for many years. So he was doing it within a time where we actually did need rights. And what he said was fascinating. So that's why I'm making this video. So like I say, I didn't know anything at this point, but what he said made sense. So basically, the difference between civil partnership and gay marriage is the fact that it's more about a legal thing that marriage people get, more so than an actual commitment towards, gay folks. So, for example, there are rights that straight couples get that you don't really think about until you don't have them rights. For example, if for whatever reason your partner dies, if you're married, you would get their inheritance automatically. But if you have a civil partnership, then that doesn't count. Or at the time when you had civil partnership, you couldn't adopt anyone properly. And if you did, it would have to be this like really long process, a lot longer than the average straight adoption. And, you would get a lot of flack for it, saying that you were going to like molest or whatever. So the marriage of gay marriage made it so that also adoption was easier and also mostly legal. Something else that he told me, which I thought was fascinating but unfair at the time, which was apparently when you're married and when you own a home or rent an apartment, basically where you're in a situation where you don't have legal rights to property and someone else does, whether it's landlord or whoever is in charge of owning homes. When you are married, so straight married and now gay married, you have rights to basically if you are discriminated against and said, no, you can't have this place because you are gay, when you are married, the marriage right trumps the right to refuse. So, which I thought was fascinating. And civil partnership didn't have that. So, if you were gay and if you were in a long-term relationship and you wanted to build a life, if your landlord or tenants were homophobic, they could refuse you, no problem, and they'd get no, reprehension. Again, which I thought was fascinating because I didn't know that. He was also saying that was also not in document, but he said that society overall saw basically civil partnerships as in a marriage, even though the surrounding was civil partnership was a way that made straight people realize that they were serious about a long-term relationship, and it wasn't just about promiscuity or just about sex, really. So civil partnership was a way for straight people to see that they're really in love and committed and want to eventually get married. And obviously it allowed the gay individuals to have a commitment that is similar to getting married, but like I say, they just didn't have the rights. And as he's kind of telling me this, it really made me think of like, wow, we really did have a fight to do. And honestly, I would say maybe I didn't realise, but I think that planted the seed of me wanting to get involved a bit more with politics and with humanitarian rights to do with the genuine LGBT community. Because, like I say, I was just living my life at that point, and then that was my first taste in what the past gays dealt with when it comes to discrimination. So, yeah, it was really eye-opening for me. I think that's all I want to say, really. I can't remember anything else that we spoke about or that he said. So I basically just wanted to give this informative video because if you are young or even older, like my age, and you don't know the difference between civil union and gay marriage, that is the difference, because we all start that question, I think, at some point, and I happened to be 17 at the time when I did. Or 18. I was 18. So yeah. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have a similar experience, or if you have more information about, why it moved from civil partnership to like gay marriage and all of the things that we couldn't have when it was civil partnership. If anyone is known for that kind of thing and knows that kind of thing, please let me know down below because I'd love to know more about it. If you have a similar experience with me as well, leave a comment down below or let me know on my Twitter socials down below. I also have another YouTube channel where I react and give reviews to albums that I like, and I say my favourites and I say why I like them, and then I give suggestions to who might like it. So, love you guys.